Hey. 10 years. 10 years is quite the statement for just about anything. A decade goes by and you're wondering, whoa, where has the time gone? But that's exactly that. Where has the time gone? In mid to late high school, I was very big on finally transitioning to the mindset of enjoy each day. It's not that I hated each day. Are you kidding me? 2006 to 2008, I gradually and consistently enjoyed coming home and sitting on the couch, turning on the TV between Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon, and playing Metroid Prime Hunters online. And that was the full Monday to Friday experience, getting off the bus and saying goodbye to your friends. I think that's a big thing, is by the time of high school, it was honestly George Takei. I remember he was kind of talking about valuing each day. And I kind of took that to heart, and I was like, yeah, I need to stop that mindset of, oh, Thursday, the day before Friday, TGI. So the thing is, by doing that by high school, not only was I able to just get more value out of each day, it didn't become some weird, blend of, prioritize Friday and Thursday is a diet Friday, right? It more so became this, again, consistent value of each day. And I think by that, I was able to really cherish each day more. And so carrying that into college, I mean, with college, you're very occupied with your time, and you're consistently studying, you're consistently... I had a part-time job at a movie theater, a great boss, Kevin, awesome guy. And I was pretty preoccupied with that. And along with that came this local game store called Pew Pew Card and Games. And by the time of early 2014, they were hosting Super Smash Bros. Project M events. But I actually found them in summer 2013. Going into college with these Street Fighter 4 events, and I got into competitive Street Fighter summer 2011. The year before is when I decided to get into competitive because I heard Zangief's theme remixed in Street Fighter 4, and talk about the power of music. So, you take all that together, and you're going to be very, occupied, but I still wanted to take that mindset of value each day, rather than, waiting for the weekend, waiting for Thursday. I just really thought that was important, and you wouldn't call it a byproduct, but one thing that happens with that is because you cherish each day, there's just a lot of things I can recall in the past, and so I really just was not a big person on the statement, time sure flies. I think that is a supplement, if you do learn to cherish each day. It's kind of an up and down. It's kind of like you're so focused on each individual day that yeah, you look at the grand scheme of things and time sure does fly, but to me, 10 years is a pretty magic number. It's the decade that passes. And so in this case, by this decade passing, while I was busy with each day, including right now, I've been looking back a lot. I ran into my good friend Matt a while back at his work, and he's doing well, and I told him, I was like, I don't say this often, but man, time sure is flying. And it's like it's already fall. But yeah, this decade is the big factor to it. And so leading up into this, summer 2014, this is a few months after Smash Brothers has started at Pew Pew Card and Games. And it's been great. We pitched the idea. We got the idea of running weeklies, so we were doing Smash Brothers weeklies and monthly tournaments. Those weekly tournaments were on Monday. And I think they're my good friend Michael, Ramen Noodles, good old Michael Torres. He, we were all involved with that community and getting that going, and he pointed out something really cool. It's not something I really said, but he said it first after these Monday weeklies were really taken off, and he was just like, this really makes a big difference in my Mondays. I was like, oh really? He's like, oh yeah, usually Sunday night you get ready for Monday, and he's talking about Good old Garfield, almost I hate Mondays. Not that he does, but he pointed out that these tournaments make a big difference. He says in his words, it was something big to look forward to, and it was on a Monday. It's like a magic overriding combo. And that kind of did combine with me already cherishing each day. Monday was an event. But that's the fun part is, in your life, in your work, you're driving to work, you're, getting your coffee, you're bringing your leftovers, to eat for lunch. And there's always just something distinct each day. And I think that's the fun part. People talk about look around you, and I think it's true. I always make the joke that taking walks around the neighborhood is like playing an Elder Scrolls game, and you kind of get a random encounter about every walk. My walks tend to be about around 2 to 4 miles on average. I either do the half 2 miles or the full 4, and yeah, I think about every time there's the quote random encounter. Just an interesting event that could be happening, whether it's a crazy car blasting some heavy bass that's vibrating like windows and other cars driving by, or whether it's a unfortunate couple fighting and potentially throwing out furniture, and you're making sure everything is okay, or else you might have to, get some authorities involved. They're all pretty. It could all go pretty crazy for sure each day, and I think that is something that's just also a mindset difference of like opening your perception to each day. So, 10 years. I've called summer 2014 one of the best time periods of my life. I was done with my first year of college, and Pew Pew Karting Games is going crazy. There's a bunch of Super Smash Bros. Project M, Melee 64. There's Street Fighter 4. People are playing cards, Magic the Gathering. Pokemon TCG, people were talking Yu-Gi-Oh up there. There's a lot of fun stuff. But what's interesting is just rapid fire. Resonance by Home comes out, which is one of those things where Resonance by Home set the bar for all future synthwave music to, be aligned to. It's, I'm all about obviously, be yourself, do the best, but Resonance created a control group of itself for all future synthwave music to regard for, and that came out 10 years ago. Talk about influential. I talk about that all the time. That song, you hear it at least once a week, some variation on average on my live streams and events for sure. Definitely, I think it's definitely one of the best songs ever made. And 10 years. And then in that same span of that summer, Shovel Knight comes out. And Shovel Knight is by far the trailblazer for indie games. There were indie games before it that were really good. Oh yeah. I think Shovel Knight was like, Shovel Knight was taking the passion-driven and already good indie games in the past, and then it just trailblazed, soared across multiple meadows and up on the highest mountain to put a flag saying, oh yeah, indie developers can go toe-to-toe with AAA, but it doesn't even need to be a competition, because at the end of the day, I think video games are an art form from those that are willing to use that as their canvas. And Shovel Knight is a love letter to DuckTales, Zelda 2, Super Mario Bros. 3, every Mega Man classic game, right? And it inspired so many people. It inspired me. Like, as a composer, Shovel Knight, I was like, oh, this is, very Mega Man inspired, and it's written by Jake Kaufman, who has, written for the Shantae series. And I remember I actually got into Shovel Knight music before I found out Jake Kaufman wrote for the original Shantae and every other Shantae. I was like, oh, that makes sense, right? So 10 years of just huge inspiration with that game alone. And then I realized, oh yeah, Mario Kart 8 is now a decade old too. I was just talking about this on stream with my brother yesterday, but yeah, 10 years of that game, and they re-released it as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch, enhanced port, added new stuff to it, and I think that's awesome, and it's kind of a testament to how good of its quality is. So the fact that we're still playing this game is really cool. Super Mario Kart's my favorite Mario Kart. I love that the main theme remixes that. And it's been remixed in the past, but yeah, it's very pronounced here, and I think that's really cool. And you want to talk about influential? I mean, so many people have great memories, and they're making great memories right now. Like, to this day, I love Mondays because you know the fact that someone is hitting someone else with the red shell to get first place at the last second. Hopefully everyone's staying civil. I love Mondays because you could be getting online on Mario Kart 8 tonight and still see your friends that you've been playing with for 10 years. I think that's when 10 years can also hit an impact, is, you know, there are people that might not be with us anymore. And, you know, what's interesting is I have a recording, or, you know, the replay system in Mario Kart 8. My grandpa, Papa, he was able to play Mario Kart 8 a little bit before he passed away. And so there's still a replay on my Wii U of just me and my grandpa racing against each other. And, you know, there's similar things people think about, you know, fondly with memories for the past 10 years. I think the decade is a good stretch of time where you can really start getting reflective of what's been going on. And, you know, people have talked about, you know, your Steam friends, your Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo friends list, and it might say last online 5 years ago, last online 10 years ago. You know, that's when you really sit down, and the best thing you can do is hope that they're okay, and you know, cherish the good memories you had with them. Because I think at the end of the day, what you take with how you interact with other people, you can use to influence others to also feel accepted. And I think that is the power of, you know, nostalgia and memories. Some people use nostalgia thinking it has, you know, almost a negative connotation to it because of, quote, pandering. But in this case, I think nostalgia is an asset, and I think it's something that not only do you cherish good memories with good people, but you learn, why did I value that? Why did I love Residence by Home? Why did I love playing Shovel Knight? Why did I love racing and Mario Kart 8 with my friends and family? Because I think at the end of the day, a life worth living is helping others feel cherished and finding their own feelings of self-worth, and then they can help others with that, and you just keep inspiring that will to keep going in life and having fun. So I love Mondays.